me get you pulled up over here so I can get comments section in view. There we go.
There's a good mic check for you, and hopefully here's one from me. All right, sounds good. All right. Thank you for joining in tonight. Welcome to Hoffcast. Hey, Hoff here. Once again, I got my boy Lowry here to discuss some stuff with me tonight. How you doing tonight, bud?
I'm good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Pretty good. Pretty energetic tonight. I'm feeling good. I'm ready to talk about a lot of crazy stuff as we do.
Yeah. Is it cold out there? Is it gotten cold in Ohio?
It has. It's not as cold tonight as it has been like last couple nights. We actually had like a little bit of a snow dusting on the ground there for about a day, but it's still a little chilly. I don't like it. I'm not a fan of the cold at all.
Yeah.
My dog loves it though. She's half husky, so she loves the cold weather. She's been more energetic the past couple of weeks than she's been all summer.
Nice. Well, good for her.
Bad for me.
Yeah. So let's see. I was going to say, as far as that video we talked. What's that?
I said cheers to you and all watching. Sorry to interrupt, man. Yeah.
So that we're not gonna do the video for Phil Schneider tonight because we decided that we were gonna need more time. So we're probably gonna push to maybe next week because I think that's gonna take about 2 hours to get through. And
I'm excited about it, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I like a nice deep dive, into something.
Yeah, we need another week to just kind of soak it up, and I need to revisit it too, like you were saying. So for those guys out there that wanted to hear that, we'll touch on that next week.
Sorry, guys. No, we'll get there.
I really wanted to go. I wanted to go into the video and like make some marks to where I wanted to stop, so that we weren't being too obnoxious and stopping at every, 15 seconds and analyzing a 15-second version of it. When I can if I can get it down to more like minute chunks or 3-minute chunks, because he really goes into a lot of depth, a lot of stuff. If he made this story up, he's a really creative dude, and because he talks about a lot of stuff that's still relevant today. And then there's some.
Have you ever heard of? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
No, ask me why you were thinking about it.
I was gonna say, have you heard of Corey Good? That guy has an imagination.
Corey Good.
He's the guy who's always talking about. He was in this when he was a teenager. He was in this secret space program, and they took him up, and he met all these.
This is the guy that went to Mars and all that.
And yeah, and he met all these like the avians and the blues and the grays and all the purples. The tetrahedrons.
I think I did. I think I gave that story a little bit. I think it was one of those times where I, was just bored and it just popped up in my YouTube search. You know how it does. It just, well, it used to anyway. It just leads.
That was a few years back, by the way, probably, because that's probably the last time you saw him on YouTube. But
yeah. I mean, that one was.
He's been on Ancient Aliens and shit too,
Well, that's kind of that should be a red flag, right? Because Ancient Aliens is total horse shit.
I still love that show. I don't believe a word. I still love that show. It's a lot of fun to watch.
The dude with the big hair.
Giorgio Tsoukalos. Yeah, yeah. Love that guy.
He's always got Duper's delight every time though. When he's talking about it, he's got that smile on his face. It's total Duper's delight. You know what I mean? You know what Duper's delight is, right? I'm not saying.
Basically, where he knows that he's not right, but he's feeding you this information.
It's like whenever you're telling somebody a fib, and you can't do it without like giving it away in your facial expressions. It's just there. It's just unless you're just a damn good stone cold liar,
Or he's just so happy to be being paid so much to just spout nonsense.
Yeah,
as well. Yeah.
Who's the other guy out there with the big forehead who's really famous about wandering around talking about this woo-woo stuff? Blonde guy. I can't remember his name.
Does he have the big teeth?
Well, he's just, it because his forehead goes from here like way up. It's got like, maybe he's got a giant brain on him or whatever, but he's got like a cult following. He's like David Icke, only
Morgue official.
What's that?
Does he have long blonde hair?
It's not long. It's short,
Oh,
and but it's got a forehead, dude. It's like this.
5 head.
Yeah, it's like super high up. If I remember the name, but anyway, he's telling a lot of bullshit stories too. He's just what do you call what's a grifter? He's just grifting on the truth scene. He's just out there, telling stories.
How can you tell a grifter from a legit person, in your opinion?
Because they shift. And they go to one thing, and then like a year later, if you've like followed him for long enough, and I didn't really follow him, but I would just check in every now and then and be like, "What's this guy talking about today?" And his narrative shifts to wherever wherever the crowds will take him. It's like, okay, this will be good for this crowd. It feels like he's crafting his story, basically for whatever audience he's talking to. I mean, he's got some interesting stuff. I got to get his name, though, before I talk about it any further, because I can't remember.
Do you feel like, because I feel like I have this kind of sixth sense where I can see through bullshit pretty easily. Sometimes feel like you got that as well.
Yeah, sometimes I think I do. But we all were had at some point in time in the past.
Absolutely.
We're all crawling out of that deception, right? So, I mean, I'm better at it now. It's usually pattern recognition. You can see that someone was really on board with an idea or a topic. I mean, the ultimate one for me was just Joe Rogan, who completely blew open the moon hoax to like at least mainstream. And then he one day just completely just night and day. He no longer was with it. He was no longer supporting it. He apologized for ever talking about it, and he never brought it up again. Which tells me
you think he was paid to do that?
Or he was paid. He was paid. And he paid, and he's like, look, you have two options here.
Or threatened. Was he paid or threatened?
I think it was both. It was both. It was like, look, you don't talk about this topic anymore. You have two choices. We either kill you or we pay you $50 million. And that's pretty, I don't know if it was 50 million, but it's like something flipped a switch and he's not allowed to talk about it anymore. So it's like there are certain topics that he, like he went full throttle on the ivermectin, and he's still swinging right now.
Watch that word.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Forget. But he's still swinging in that battle. He's still fighting it. So I'm glad that he's doing that. But I mean, there's just certain subjects that he's not going to touch. He doesn't bring it up. Flat Earth was the same with him. But there was one moment,
and he's friends with people like Eddie Bravo.
Right. Well,
do you like Eddie Bravo?
I do, and I think. So Eddie Bravo, he gets to play good cop, bad cop with Eddie Bravo on the FE topic, okay? So they let that happen because Eddie Bravo is perceived as kind of his B-man who says the crazy stuff and does all this, and then Joe Rogan's seen as like the concrete base of where, you got to believe Joe at the end of the day or whatever. But they do go back and forth on that, or have in the past gone back and forth. I don't know if Eddie Bravo is still doing Joe Rogan's show. I know Eddie's got his own show now and hasn't had one for a while.
He kind of went MIA for a while, to be honest with you. And then he's been back recently. He's been doing some tinfoil hat podcasts. He did the 500th show, and he's kind of got back on the train a little bit. But he went away there for a while intentionally, just because he just wanted to like not say anything about anything for a minute. I respect that. I've been through that situation. I'm not on the Twitters or the Facebooks or anything like that, and that's for a reason. Like I pick and choose my battles very wisely, or at least I feel so when I can.
Indeed.
And a lot of people don't. You see that happening way too much, where people just they let impulse control them, and they just go online. They just, whatever they're feeling, they just spout it off, and then they regret it the next day. I know, because I've been there. I've done it a million times. That's why I got rid of that shit. I got sick of feeling like, oh man, why did I say that? I can't take that back. And it wasn't the right context either. It never is through messages or text or you know what I mean. It's always, I've never really regretted anything I've said on a live stream, because I feel like the context came through with the way I'm presenting it. But when you're online, you got people,
you're doing like a Facebook post, and they just don't understand what you meant by it. And
it just always comes off as snobby, in my opinion. But,
oh yeah. So the jury for the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. Very interesting that it went to the next day, and I think a lot of this is theater, if not most of it. But
It's a lot of theater.
well,
Yeah,
think about
let's
it.
be about that.
Think about it from this way too. Okay, so you have known rioters outside, and they're just waiting. They're just itching to blow something up, right? Um, if you can somehow time when that verdict comes out, um, it might help out at least the National Guard and the cops that are in that town. If they drag it out another day, I mean, how long are the protesters going to stay out there in the cold? Now if once the verdict does come out, with one way or another, I think it's a solid self-defense case, at least on the surface. So if he gets acquitted, they will come out. But if they can somehow, what do you call that, filibuster the jury, and make them keep going and going and going, it's either going to build up tension and make it worse, or if they find some nice little happy medium there in the middle, where the protesters are kind of tired, we don't want to be out there, then they hit it, and while it's kind of at a low point for nobody's really out there, like say if they just say they get the verdict in at say like 8 o'clock in the morning or something, and the protesters don't get out there till 11 or 12, there hasn't been enough time for
they're all hung over, on meth.
something like that. So eventually they will be there and they will do what they're going to do, but there's got to be some sort of management going on here, like the judge talking to the jury. It's like, hey, we don't want you to just come straight back out, because you imagine if they had come straight back out, and just like within 30 minutes, then that would have stung even more. If he's, I expect him to be found not guilty because it's on video, it's right there. But I expect that to happen, but who knows, man.
Do you think there'll still be any charges against him, like at all, or do you think he'll just be completely? I don't think he's going to just be scot-free, in my opinion. I don't see that happening. But I mean, I don't know. I've been wrong before many times.
The way to keep the protesters from going completely ape shit is probably, it's going to be like a I'm not a lawyer, I'm just like going off experience, second or third degree like manslaughter situation, where he'll have
I'm sorry, I was just thinking, what if he gets off scot-free and he gets out of there and he just blasts his way out through the protest?
Oh, that'd be funny. Yeah, that would sit well with the protesters. Look, if they
I don't know, that'd be funny. I mean, it wouldn't really be funny. It wouldn't be funny, but you know what I'm saying? Like, the irony of that would just be, it's completely, it's not possible because he's not going to come out of the place with a firearm. But just the thought of that, of just him coming out and fighting the protesters is funny.
I mean, that'd be a good Saturday Night Live skit.
Well, they don't play that game. They don't play that game anymore. It'd be like the opposite. But
the thing that I think they're probably gonna get, it's gonna be some sort of charge. He's not gonna do like jail time per se. But
clean up some trash on the side of the road.
Do some of that. And you're not gonna see him once that thing's over. He's gonna go out a back exit somewhere along with the jury, and it's I'm at least under the cover of a lot of like protection.
The same way that rapper did with the 6ix9ine on his face and the colorful crayon hair.
Right.
Same way, man. They're gonna be in the same camp.
Yeah, and then, I mean,
maybe,
and then he's gonna disappear down the memory hole, and then they're just the protesters are gonna go find something else to be mad about. That's just what's gonna happen. It's just they've got to somehow get it down the memory hole, over time, and then something else is gonna come up. They're gonna have to use more ammo on another event or do something to get them riled up. Because I just think the National Guard being there, they are prepared this time, and the cops are there too. So they'll protest, they'll do their thing, and hopefully get this thing behind us.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like over it.
We all are, man. We all are.
The video, just like, it's just, how did this even go to court?
No, well, it's the same reason, I guess, why no one questions. Everyone's like, why was Rittenhouse out there with a firearm? But no one asks why the other guy was out there with one.
Mm-hmm.
No one brings that up. Nice kitty.
Yeah, this is Sheep.
The kitty.
She likes to come up to the lap sometimes, even if I don't want her to. Go on down. down now. What else is going on, man?
Man, if you would like to kind of discuss what I was, well, let's first, what did you think about this that's on the screen that he's picking numbers at random? I think that's it's a thing they do, right?
Well, I've never heard of that before. I've always thought that the lawyers chose the jury members.
It says in Wisconsin, it's not unusual for there to be a large pool of potential jurors to choose from at the end of arguments. Huh? A random selection. I don't know. I don't want to see that come back.
Trial? Did you see it before trial or after trial when he did this?
This came out today.
Okay, so to say there's a big jury, and then there's only going to be some of the jury that's
there were 18 potential. There were 18 potential. 6 people's numbers who were selected were dropped, and the remaining 12 were sent to deliberations, according to this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before.
If he gets off, then are you getting an echo from my voice? Because I'm hearing an echo.
Nope. Nope.
Well, maybe it's just me. Hopefully it's just me. But anyways, if he gets off, man, they're gonna blame a lot of shit on that right there, no doubt. They're gonna say, "Oh, he picked it. No, yeah, it was rigged."
He had secret access to the numbers.
Yeah. They took the certain ones out.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, once this, goes down the memory hole, what's next? Like, what? I mean, it just seems like one big event after another just keeps coming. Like, what? Like, I can't keep track of them anymore.
Well, what was crazy? The one that I thought was fascinating was the Vegas one, dude, and they just kind of stopped talking about that altogether. You remember the Vegas thing that went down?
The shooting?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had to move their script along.
And none of it made sense, and so they just buried it, And I want to look into that more personally and check that out. But also, I don't want to end up like AJ and S Hook and whatnot. But,
Marty Leeds did a really good de-occulting of the Las Vegas shooting. Have you watched any Marty Leeds?
No, you should send me some stuff, man.
He's a numerology guy, but he explains it pretty well.
I'm into that stuff. I'm just not good at it, but I like to hear about it.
Yeah, he's pretty talented with the numbers, and he keeps it pretty based. He doesn't take it all the way out to these weird, wild places where it could be anything. Damn, did you see? Oh, you know what we need to watch?
What's that?
Where is that, dude?
Get it, bro. Get it.
Okay, what do we got? Okay, I think we can get it in. We should watch this. Maybe in segments.
I like segments.
Okay, this was extraordinary. This just came out today. Let me go pull it off here. All right, where are you?
If there's anyone watching, you're welcome to speak in the chat. Let's say what's up.
Come on, I got this video somewhere. Where are you at? I had one of my chats, and we talked massively today. This is one of my buddies that we talk about subjects like this, and we always getting these 5-hour text conversation, and it's way up in the text thread. Okay, here it is. All right, so let me get this pulled up.
Sometimes people are scared to be the first person in the chat.
Okay, so this is a very, very accurate description of. Hold on just a second. Okay, let me make sure. Let me get it to a spot. Okay. Let's see how long this is. So it's a little over 30 minutes. We're not going to watch that much of it. But it needs to be watched. And we can stop it and talk about it. So, okay.
Give me the good stuff. Give me the loop.
It's all good. I mean, it's like it basically unwinds the koof, the koof deceit. Oh, we'll call it the koof. Do you know what the koof is?
Yeah. I'm familiar with that code word. It's the Corvid. That's the one I use. Corvid. Yes.
Corvid. I used to use Corvette, but that's giving it too much credit. All right. So share screen. Okay. Tab.
Because Corvid's a real word. It's like a crow.
Okay.
In case you didn't know. I'll
this
share that.
Is
you ready
Dr.
for me
David,
to share it?
Just about. Let me just get it in a place where it views well. This ought to work. So yeah, I'm ready.
There you go, man.
Okay, ignore the ad, guys. How's the
I always love when I'm introduced as the guy who you need to take
this
notes
guy,
with.
251,000 views.
These are about excitement. And the last time I was at a rally or anything exciting, we had balloons and we had popcorn and not notepads and pens.
It sounds good to me.
But I have to tell you that Clay is right. If you're
maybe turn down just a touch,
notes,
just so it's not too shrill.
Notes. But the most important notes to take, I'm warning you, are in the first 3 slides.
Yeah, that's good.
So if you get lazy, don't try to pace yourself. Make sure you get everything in the first 3 slides. And the best thing about that is if you really need the slides, I'll make sure that everybody has a copy of this because I'll let the conference share them around.
I'll be right back.
So here we go.
Yep. Oh.
I cannot be on stage anywhere without asking you first and foremost, do not participate in the propaganda of this conspiracy. Number 1, there is no SARS coronavirus 2. There is a bioweapon that in 1999 was paid for by Anthony Fauci, was patented at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill in 2002. It was the recombinant coronavirus, which had the following protocol that was actually a bioweapon created by NIAID for this very moment. And that bioweapon was an infectious replication defective, their words not mine, infectious replication defective clone of coronavirus. 1999, people, this bioweapon was engineered to destroy humanity.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it there because I don't want you to get a check mark. I'm gonna stop sharing here just for now. This is incredible. This was done just like within the last couple weeks. Am I back? Yeah.
Yeah, you're good, man.
So, yeah, because they were gonna blow out all the words that would give me a check mark. So,
yeah,
this is what you want to look for. Is you want to look for Dr. David Martin, and he was at. Let's see where he was. You can find it on BitChute, and this would have been the speech that he did. Where was that at? It says 804 years in the making, Humanity's Declaration by Dr. David E. Martin. So again, that title is 804 years in the making, Humanity's Declaration. Dr.
David Martin.
David E. Martin. So anyway, he basically breaks down the whole plan. He basically breaks down, and he does it precisely with where the patents were made, when they disclosed exactly what they were going to do. And this started in 1999. Now, this guy, why do we listen to this guy? He was been working for the government and tracking the use of biological weapons since 1999. He was one of the guys that worked on the anthrax stuff that happened during the after 9/11. He's been watching it the whole time. So highly recommend looking at that. I'd love to watch the whole thing right here, dude. But it's just you're gonna get thrown off YouTube.
Yeah, I need to find an alternate way to live stream, but I just don't have enough people even watching now, but to go anywhere else and do it. But
yeah. So what was I gonna say? Here, just a second. So yeah, check that one out. It's very thorough. It's very vetted, and it's as close as I've seen to a description of how this thing was actually pulled off, what their intentions were. He tracks it all the way down to the very parent company. Tracks it back to where,
so this has been going on for like, it was a 20-year plan at least.
1999 was when the patents were starting to be described for the novel Koof. Okay. So, oh man, I wish we.
So
could
they were
watch it.
patenting
it's powerful.
They were patenting the virus itself, like the virus has a patent.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
crazy.
the old Hegelian dialectic, problem, reaction, solution. Well, they had to have the problem first, and so they created the problem, which funny enough, and this isn't giving too much away, but they created a problem that wasn't a problem. They actually put the real problem in the solution part. So they created a problem that wasn't a problem. They generated the fear they needed. That's the reaction. So we create the problem through the media, get the reaction, which is the fear, and then they sell you the solution. Well, here's the genius of their plan was the solution was the real problem. And the solution is a bioweapon. And if you go through that and have, I had to watch it 2 or 3 times just to like take in all of the material, and then I've edited. I went and found everything that he described, and it's all there. And so,
do you want to hear my opinion, man? Like, I know this has gone back for a while, but when you watch like Bill Gates doing the TED Talk, which I'm sure you've seen of the whole virus thing, and then you got Faucisms going out there and saying that there's going to be a pandemic during the Trump administration.
Yeah, what has he got, a crystal ball or something?
I'm getting an echo from me, but not from you. That's weird.
I don't know, man. You sound good to me.
Thank you. I'm getting an echo. But anyways, I know that this has been going on for a minute because why? And it was going to be politicized because why else would Tony Fauci? Why else would he say something like that? Why wouldn't he just say in the next few years we might face a pandemic? And he said, no, the Trump administration will face a pandemic. And in my opinion, man, Trump was never supposed to be elected, and that kind of distorted all their plans. And that's why the whole, process of voting this past year was distorted, in my opinion.
I mean, that's what it looks like. On if you look at it just at face value and you just follow the data, it's so crazy. I mean, you could just. Okay, so we talk about, that 17th letter of the alphabet, which who knows what that is? Nobody knows what that is, or if it's gone, or if it was ever anything. But one thing I have noticed, and I think we might have talked about this a couple weeks ago, is one of the key ideas in as far as Trump interrupting this plan was he compressed their script. Okay, their script was supposed to run a long time. So it's like boiling the frog, right? So if you're boiling the frog dies in the water because it doesn't know that it's getting hotter and hotter. It's just sitting there. And
save the frogs. Return the frogs, Gabe.
I know they can stretch these things out so people don't notice that it's happening to them. They don't even know how it happened to them. That it already did. So having compressed that script, now they're putting out shit so often. Like the script is so tight together that people are starting to notice that it's a script.
Not only that, but the whole fact that it threw that script off track made people wake up to it as well, because they got to see the other side from it rather than just this entire one-sided train just drilled down their throat for so many administrations consecutively, in my opinion. And
the faster
that kind of broke people up, and people were like, oh, shit, we have a choice in this?
Yeah, imagine that. So, I mean, it's like what I was used to in the mainstream narrative. I can't stand watching that garbage anymore, but I have to look at it from time to time just to figure out, kind of where I'm at, just kind of to see what's going on.
You have to kind of keep up with their lies to know where the meter lies in terms of what the truth is.
Yeah, so. if you can stand to actually stare at them on TV, it's just awful. But so you have so that everything's compressed, right? Now, when there would be one big story, every week, or one big story every 2 weeks. Now there's a big story like every 48 hours, and you do see that, and you start to notice that the script has been compressed, and they can't control the narrative anymore. The narrative's getting wily and crazy and weird, and going all sorts of different directions. You can't figure out how to spin it. Something happens and something else happens, and they're trying to spin it one way, and it's just getting so ridiculous.
Did you notice that, like, for the past 4 years prior to this administration, maybe not all 4 years, maybe the past 2 years prior to this current administration, there weren't that many public shootings?
No, this is
and then if you remember, in the first 4 to 6 months of this year, you were seeing all kinds
Oh yeah, we had
of just shooting,
shootings
and
all
now
over
you're
the
not
place.
seeing them as much anymore. Like it's weird. It's like they go through phases. Like it's is it what the media reports? Are they happening? Are they
No,
set up? What's
like,
going on?
I think we should do a shooting here. No, we need another shooting. We need to get another shooting. You know, and we've already cracked that case. I mean, like, if you want to think about, let's say, oh, there we go. They've got actors. They've got agencies with actors that do these crisis acting things, and they can just churn out a shooting whenever they want. They can't do it whenever they want because it's got to be highly controlled and something that they can't have any witnesses as far as, you know, real witnesses. But I can't imagine that all of these shootings, all of them are staged. Boston bombing thing, staged. Like,
Bro, I remember back then, even before I was like deep into this stuff, I was like, none of this is adding up, man. And maybe that's why I've always had that mindset. Maybe that's why I'm here now. And all of this in the past few years have really opened up my eyes more than I've ever thought they could be. But I've never thought that any story that the news have told us has ever made sense. Really, they've never given us the full story, or it's never made sense, or there's just always been like, oh, it doesn't make sense, and then they brush it under the friggin' rug, you know?
Like it never happened, down the memory hole, man.
Exactly.
Right? And so, man, who knows what we're gonna get? You know, it's like the media loves this Rittenhouse thing though, because they know they're gonna get to cover the riots. They know there's gonna be riots, so they got something to cover. You know, if it bleeds, it leads.
Oh, they're like this right now. They're just
just grappling it up. Just
can't wait. You know, they're already ordering their new yachts and shit. You know.
So it's like, what's gonna happen tomorrow? I don't know. What do you think? You think they're gonna have a verdict tomorrow in that trial? I bet they do.
I was about to say, I think they're gonna drag this out as long as they can. I think they're gonna really drag this out as long as they can.
What if they drug it out for like 2 weeks? I mean,
I've heard at least maybe a week, you know, but I don't know, man.
There's only two jurors that are in there, like supposedly battling it out, but I don't think that they're battling it out. I think they're just being held. They're being held. There's like, we don't want you guys to just pop out here in 30 minutes with a verdict. I just think the judge said something like, you know, don't come back out here. I want you to stay in there for a while because, you know, we could have an issue on our hands. Now, the flip side of that, it could backfire. More people keep showing up as it gets more tense, right? So they say those jurors stay back there for 2, 3, 4, 5 days. It's like day 7 in like half of the state of Wisconsin and you know, coming up from Chicago and over from Milwaukee all end up there, and then they've got, you know, a bloodbath.
Held back there at gunpoint.
Yeah. Who's this cool pizza dude?
This is a pizza chain capitalizing on the anti-Biden slogan, you know. And this is I think it's in New York or something.
That's good.
Celeranzo's Pizzeria.
It's got 2 meanings too, because it's on a pizza.
I think it's it's in Florida. Yeah.
It's got double meaning. Kind of awesome.
Yeah, I'd totally get a pizza like that. And I'd love it. And yeah, it's definitely Florida, because if you look on the guy's shirt, he says, "Don't tread on Florida."
Yeah, indeed.
It's got a gator instead of a snake. Yeah. Respect that.
What else is going on out there? Let's see. I usually have a couple of pages that's pretty up to speed here. Bill Gates has given $319 million to media outlets. Wow.
That's it?
I'm not surprised.
That's low balling, man. I guarantee it's more than that. If they're telling us that number, I guarantee it's triple that. It's got to be $1 billion at least. Come on, let's be real here. The guy owns the media. He probably gives them. That means he's just paying his employees. He owns the media. Let's be honest.
Just hiding it in plain sight, right? Brazil plays down mad cow risk and suspect Rio cases. Okay, mad cow now. Now it's mad cow. Can we get some more mad cow, please? A shooting on Saturday, mad cow on Monday. And then
what if mad cow came back?
What if mad cow and murder hornets came on the same day?
Murder hornets were only around for a day.
Yeah, but that's why they're good. They're good for like the 1-day script day.
Yeah, we need something.
We got nothing. We've used murder hornets 4 times in the last 2 weeks. We can't use it again. Yes, we can use it again.
They're dropping them again.
What else is happening here?
What's funny about our media is none of them ever talk about all the riots that are going on in other places like France and Australia and all the problems that are going on in those places. Like they never talk about none of that stuff ever. Never bring it up once.
Just buried.
You know why? Because they don't want that to happen here. Yeah. They don't want that to happen here. They want to get us to where they are there, and then hopefully it doesn't happen here. But they're wrong about that. I've heard of a lot of Australians saying, like, and Canadians as well, saying, "Man, we wish we had your Second Amendment." You know, it's free country.
Yeah, I mean, Australia's in bad shape, man. Yeah. And this other country, Austria, I guess it's really bad. They're like people walking around stores, and they're asking people on the spot if they've had their vaccination. If you're even in a store, which is sorry, I said the V word again. I need to stop doing that.
Oh, you're good, man. I think they sort of allow it now. I haven't been hit on shit, and I've said a lot of stuff in the past month. So
yeah, but
I had a copyright claim released on a live stream, but they never even told me I had a copyright claim on it to begin with. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was because I showed the video for I'm an island boy. I'm an island. I think.
Do you know I have a copyright strike on my YouTube page, which is all just music, and it's all my music. So I have a copyright strike against using my own.
Well, why aren't you getting money for getting plays on your own videos then?
That is the question, is it not?
Yep.
It's the $1 million question.
Because you're not an island boy. I'm sorry, dude, that's addictive.
Let's see what else we got here.
What else, man?
I mean, Rittenhouse took up all of everything that happened today. It was just like there were already fights out in front. It was just stupid. It was just the things that they say to each other. They had this RSBN out there broadcasting live all day long, and it was just idiots yapping at each other. You know, it was the protesters, and then they had protesters that were there also for Rittenhouse, and just yelling at each other, stupid shit, and. You know, they didn't really get to a fight stage just yet, but it's like you can just tell. It's like something's going to go down there, and like it's going to be, I don't know. I just feel like this is one of their last gasps. If you want to talk about the, you know, the deep state, the cabal, if they're really have their hand in some of these rioters, if they're paying them, or if they're, you know, if paying them essentially is the idea.
Hey, do you know this? Do you know this? I love bringing this up, and a lot of people don't know it. Do you know what happens if you go to your web browser and type in Antifa.com?
No.
Try it and tell me what happens. I want to see a look on your face. Do it right now.
Okay.
I love getting people's reactions to this.
Okay, hold on a second.
You're not going to believe it. Can you screen share it? That way we can watch it in real time.
Okay, let me see here. I wonder if I feel like I've done this before, but I've done so many of these things. Where's my Google? No. Okay, share. Hold on.
Oh, no.
Antifa.
Okay, yep. No, put it in your web browser, like your actual address bar.
Okay. Okay.
And there you go. There you go. Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
Wow.
That's real. That's real.
Somebody snagged Antifa.com, did a redirect. That's good. That's good. I like that stuff.
Or do you think the White House owns Antifa?
Well, it's I don't think the White House, but it's them, they, the infamous they, them. You know, the cabal.
That's been that way for months, though. Like literally months, and they've never changed it. The White House has never gone back and been like, "Hey."
I think it's on purpose. I think like
definitely on purpose.
At some level, this administration is getting like.
There's no way it's accidental. There's no way you accidentally reroute Antifa.com to the White House's webpage. There's no way that's an accident.
Yeah, so here's the thing. We haven't seen anything like this before happen. I mean, this administration is so bad. It's almost like they're bad on purpose. Like they're like we've been, you know.
It's like the team that's tanking for the high draft pick.
Exactly. Exactly. That's a good description of it. It's like they're trying to make it fail. Deliberately doing the opposite of what needs to be done almost in every single case. And we're starting to finally get like real like reports from the border down there. And it's a mess.
We have been for a while, but no one's been seeing them.
Yeah, it's a mess. There was word that there was a group of 3,000 and then another group of 30,000 people behind them heading up here, and that hasn't happened. So maybe they've been halted for a second and waiting for the right moment to do it.
In fact, I haven't heard anything about the border in a minute, to be honest with you. That kind of fell under too. But
suppressing it. There's troops down there at the border for sure. So, I mean, we're almost at a virtual media blackout, like we have been our whole lives anyway, because the media just fucking lies. But like, we're kind of at a blackout where the media is just telling every single story except the ones that need to be told, and that's kind of been that way.
And they're not even telling their stories the right way either. Mm-hmm. They're not even telling the truth about anything that they're saying. Hey, you might find this. Oh, go ahead.
Everyone's openly lying and not even feeling. The lies are coming so. I hate to use Fast and Furious. Look at that trigger.
Yeah. Rittenhouse prosecutor places finger on rifle trigger, points barrel at people.
Yeah,
dude. Did he not hear about Alec Baldwin recently? Did he not hear about what happened there? Because what the fuck?
Yeah, dude. That's bad trigger discipline, buddy.
What the fuck? No, you don't do that. You don't do any of that right there that he's doing. What the hell's wrong? This guy's obviously a liberal if he doesn't know how to handle a gun like that. Motherfuckers, dude. I mean, it was motherfuckers.
All for the photo op. Yeah.
Some Twitter users noted Alec Baldwin just killed a person on a movie set with a gun he presumed to be empty. Yeah. Look, spot the difference? Yeah. He knows not to put his finger on the damn trigger if you're not ready to fire it.
I mean, even if there's not a clip in that gun, that would have been unnerving for the jury because, like, who knows? What if there's a bullet in the chamber? You know,
look, cheekbone, it's open, not so ear.
It's not, but they wouldn't have known to look at that. That's got to be. That's what just keeps telling me. It's got to be scripted. This has got to be theater too. It's got to be theater. All of this because you wouldn't make that many mistakes when holding a gun like that.
Damn, dude, it makes me really think that the Alec Baldwin thing is just all a big fucking joke sometimes, man. I don't
notice how quickly that disappeared down the rabbit hole. I mean,
I gotta know. There's this guy, dude, who I've been watching. Damn, I can't remember his name. I guarantee he'd come up if I bring him up on YouTube. He's been following this like a damn hawk, and he's doing a great job. He's bringing up stuff about how the cinematographer is the one who got shot, but the co-producer or director was standing over her shoulder, and he got shot through the shoulder. That's where they pulled the bullet out of. But she got shot through the stomach. How does that happen?
Yeah,
like
it's just I think sometimes they put mistakes in full view on purpose because they have to. Again, they have to put the deception, the ruse underneath your nose, and if you're too stupid to see that it's fake, then that's on you. And that I think, that's kind of the storyline for what we would consider to be these awful people that are doing all these things right now. I mean, you talk to people that talk to normies, and they'll be like, your paranoia is just, it's not paranoia. It has nothing to do with paranoia. It's right there. You can see it. If you just take a look at what's going on. They're telling you that they're doing this to you,
Look at supremacy. What's up, bro? Sorry to cut you off, man. I just had to say hi to my boy. He's my he's my biggest fan, I believe. I really do. I think he's my biggest fan. He's here more than anyone in my stream. So always glad to see you, man. If you have any comments, anything you want to talk about, put it in the chat. Anyways, go ahead, Lauer.
Yeah, so the longer you get at this stuff, you realize that they're putting these things in the imagery because the imagery is always the first. That's the first most important thing is the photo op. So, of course, this is going to be the photo op that he wanted to present to the cameras to see. He knows that this photo is going to be seen by millions, if not billions of people. Right? He knows this. They don't pose for that thing up there unless they've got everything perfect for the image because it goes photo, then it goes headline, and then if you're lucky, people actually read the article. And that's usually by the bottom of the article, they usually actually tell the truth, but nobody ever gets that far. They read the headline or they look at the picture. So here he is. He's got it looks like a man with a gun. That's a pretty striking image. That's going to go out to a whole bunch of people. How many mistakes were there? How many mistakes were there in that? One it was all wrong. So
they're gonna start saying this guy was in the insurrection on January 6th.
I mean, they're gonna do something. They're gonna. It's just like there's so much wrong with that. So you know, do what you will with that. But and I mean, as far as what's gonna come out of that, dude, the video obviously clearly shows that, you know, he's Rittenhouse is being chased down the street. Okay, he's got an AR-15, but he's running from them. There's muzzle flashes seen all around. They're coming at him. They're coming up on him, and he falls down. One of them's got a gun, or there was a gun in the area, and one of them's going to swing a skateboard at him. And somebody
giving skateboarders a bad look, man.
Yeah, I know. And the guy that got his bicep shot off pointed the gun, and that's when he got his bicep shot off. It's like, if Kyle didn't do that, would he have been shot? I mean, there were people getting shot by
there were
these
guns.
groups.
There were a lot of idiots. Everyone should have just been home smoking weed, playing Xbox that night. You know, in my opinion, we're doing what we do. You know,
I mean, he's
chilling out, playing music, just talking about this shit.
I see like what I see in his heart what he wanted to do, what he wanted. He was there, that he wanted to help. I mean, when I was 17, you know, I thought I was Superman, you know, so like I wasn't firing guns. I have nothing against guns, but when you're that age, you just want to be Superman. You want to help everybody, you want to do everything. But yeah, he would have been better off like staying home. He could have avoided all this mess. That place was going to get burnt down anyway, whether he was there or not. And quite frankly,
but go ahead.
I've never really been afraid of demonstrations in my whole life, and we have a lot of them here in New York. And after this last year and a half, we did some marches for the freedom marches up here over the summer for, we obviously don't like the vaccine mandate, and it was good crowds, and we really didn't have any of that because that's not really the nature of that crowd. We're just like, look, don't tell me what to do with my body. These events, for me, looking at them, I was like, that doesn't look like a normal demonstration. Like, there's people out there on the offensive. And then people started shooting, and people started killing people at these things. I'm like, okay, this has gone to a whole other level. So I can also see in his mind, since he did need to go and try to help save people's businesses, if that's what he was getting up to, I could see why he felt like he needed a gun. I mean, in retrospect, we're like, dude, you just need to stay home. I mean, they're going to burn that shit down no matter what.
But at the same time, man, like, if you believe the universe unfolds the way it does, like, without him, man, this argument wouldn't be happening right now. There's a lot of discussion that wouldn't be happening without him in this situation. Right. And so, I mean, he is sort of, I don't know, I wouldn't say a martyr, but of sorts, I guess. But I mean, like, there really wouldn't be this discussion if that hadn't happened. Maybe it would have been someone else, or maybe it would have been a different trial right now. But I think it's important that these discussions are being had because of this.
And that in combination with just everything else that's happened this year, what it has done is it has forced people to go back to the Constitution and read it. I went back and reread it. I also went through all 87 of the Federalist Papers, tried to get myself into that mindset of why we depend on those documents, because it's not about being conservative. This has nothing to do about being Republican, Democrat, or anything. It's those documents, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, all that stuff protects your sovereignty. And people, they're like, oh, the Constitution's in the past. It's no.
That's the worst thing you can say as an American. That is the worst thing you can say as an American, man.
Well, the reason it is that
the only reason you have the right to say that is because of that.
They've never experienced not having sovereignty. So when their sovereignty goes away and it finally hits home to them, then they will understand what those documents mean and why they're so powerful and why,
But a lot of these people
look back to them.
Want to support the system. As weird as it is, a lot of these crazy people.
Are you talking about the govern me harder meme?
I'm talking about like the blue-haired bitches, the purple rainbow-haired bitches. The dudes that aren't dudes. I'm talking about these people that want, yeah, government me harder, daddy. You know,
Yeah,
choke me hard. Like they want this.
I'll take
they will
25
support
boosters.
this.
Give me your 25 boosters. I'll take them.
My parents got their boosters today.
And then they brag about it, and they brag about what brand they got of the booster. I'm like, just brag about like which grenade you're going to shove in your mouth. You know, it's like, you know, I don't.
I got the new Gucci vaccine. Oh,
yeah, it's like a handbag.
Yeah.
You know. I got to jump off here, but let's do this. Let's definitely plan on covering the Phil Schneider video next week.
Absolutely, man.
And that's gonna be a long burn. So like we're literally gonna be on that one video the whole time, but it is amazingly interesting. And it provides a lot of good gravy, and some of it is bullshit, I think, but some of it, it's like the parallels are impossible to ignore. So maybe we can do that. And then don't forget to check out that that other video. I can't tell people enough. Check out the hold on here. I just want to make sure I'm saying this. Got to get everything right here. The doctor, okay, Dr. David Martin. He's got a must-watch presentation. It's on BitChute. It's probably on several different. You know what? I'm just going to send you this link to our to your text.
If you can put it in the chat, put it in the chat too, or you know.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. Also,
I'm gonna be sticking around for a little bit. Anyone who's watching, I'll be around for a little bit longer, chatting about some more stuff. Just hanging out.
I just put it in the chat. Watch that thing, and just get every bit of data you can, and again, research it too. Go make sure that. But this guy is the strongest argument I've heard so far. He's really nailing it. So anyway, and if you're, who knows, I might pop back over later if you're still up and running.
I mean, I'm not gonna be up too much. Like, I'm not gonna be like 3 hours like I was last time. I'm gonna stick around a little bit longer, and I want to try to finish my project, which I'm going to be talking about here very soon. So
awesome, brother.
So thanks for joining me, man. If you do want to pop back in, you got the invite. You're welcome to, man. If I'm still here, you're more than welcome to. All right, bud.
All right, man. Cheers.
All right. Have a good night. Cheers, bud. And that was Lowry. Guy's always got some great information. Always in a good mood. Always good spirits. The guy knows he's got a level head. I like having him on. Cheers to Lowry. But I do have Hoff here does have a lot to talk about tonight. I'm not gonna lie. I want to try to keep it somewhat short just because I want to get this project done that I've been working on, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I like this article right here, and I'm sure you've heard about it if you've watched Salty Cracker's videos. Yeah, blasting Biden. Biden slammed his racist Joe after calling Satchel Paige a great, at the time, and shock remark. A great, the Spanish word for black, if that's appropriate. Joe Biden was slammed as racist Joe. Is that better or worse than Sleepy Joe in his position? Everyone's racist now, but not everyone's sleepy as Joe. So, on social media, after calling baseball legend Satchel Paige a great Spanish word for black at the time, in shocking remarks, the president's awkward moment occurred during a speech he gave at Arlington Cemetery in Virginia on Thursday. Joe Biden's latest blunder has sparked fury, and there you see the great Satchel Paige, and he didn't deserve. He didn't deserve what Joe Biden was going to say about him in this day and age. He was a great baseball player, That's all that matters in this day and age. But not to Joe Biden. He wants to go and call people certain whatnot or their, Biden's blundered over his words. Blundered. I wouldn't quite say that 100%. He seemed like he didn't blunder at all on that. I've adopted the attitude of the great, at the time, pitcher in the blank leagues, went on to become a great pitcher in the pros in the MLB after Jackie Robinson. His name was Satchel Paige, Biden said. # racist Joe. Man. Well, you get what you get, you know. You get what you get. Who would expect any less from a guy who was talking about kids jumping on his lap, you know, rubbing down his hair in the pool. What a creep, man. What a creep. So I got a few other things. I haven't really looked into this, but I find this interesting right here. Let's look into it together. Let's learn about this together. It should be fun. Tucker Carlson claims Kamala Harris is not from this country because she went to school in Canada. This is from Business Insider. Harris was born in Oakland, California. She moved to Canada. Okay, well, I mean, I don't think that really counts. Tucker's all right. He says there's a lot we don't know about Kamala Harris. Most probably we don't know she really grew up in Canada. It's true. We don't, just like Obama and Kenya and whatnot. It's where she went to high school. She's not from this country in that sense. She's certainly also from Canada. Carlson has raised similar questions about Harris' background in the past, notably attacking her dating history. Ooh, spicy. And has repeatedly mispronounced her name. Well, no one knows how to really pronounce her name. I'm probably mispronounced it, even though I'm trying my best tonight. Harris is undoubtedly an American. She was born and raised in San Francisco Bay Area and moved to Montreal, Canada for her middle and high school years because her mother, a biologist and cancer researcher, sure, got a job there. Man. And they say that no one has any opportunity in this country if you're going to make all those stupid claims like that. What else, man? What else? I guess I'll probably just discuss a little bit of the project that I'm working on right now. And I am going to go and finish that project as I wanted to tonight. Hopefully I can actually get it done by Thursday, but this is a big project. So let's just talk about this real quick. YouTube. Why YouTube is hiding dislikes on videos. Well, I think we know why. This is from November 13th. Earlier this week, YouTube announced in a blog post that it would start making dislike counts on videos private. I don't know if we have a choice on this yet or not. It hasn't been totally stated. I've already seen some channels that don't have the dislikes, but also it hasn't affected every channel. So hopefully it's like a choice, because I'll take dislikes on my channel. If you want to downvote my video, I'm fine with that. If it's a bot downvoting it, I'm not okay with that, which I'm pretty sure that's what it is, because most of the time I get, 3 dislikes on a video as soon as I post it. YouTube has been changing some of its video monetization policies. Yeah, there's been a lot of issues around that, and overly commercial content targeted to kids. Oh man, this is crazy. Remember when YouTube was like the old wild west? Man, that was the good stuff. When anyone just posted whatever they want on there, there was no censorship. China didn't own it. Back in the good old days of Reddit fucking sucks now. If you use Reddit now and you're on there and you're actually like using it, you don't realize you're talking to like 90% bots. It's about all it is on Reddit, and I guess YouTube for that point as well. But what we're seeing here, I wanted to bring this part up as well. The fact that this article here from November 10th. YouTube gives dislikes the thumbs down, hides public accounts or public counts. Creators will still be able to see how many people dislike their videos. But I want the public to be able to see that, even if it's detrimental to me, honestly, because I need that feedback. people need to be able to speak their minds. That's the way it is. And when it comes to something that's simple from a private company, and they're always using that excuse now. YouTube has announced it'll be hiding public dislike counts on videos across its site starting today. The company says the change is to keep smaller creators from being targeted by dislike attacks or harassment and to promote respectful interactions between viewers and creators. The dislike button will still be there, but it will be for private feedback rather than public sharing. Now, you have to be a real bitch to let the dislikes get to you and not continue, or just not use them as a way to say, hey, maybe I'm not giving my viewers the right content, or maybe I need to figure something out because it's not beneficial to anyone if everyone's downvoting this. So if you're still watching and I can do this, which I don't know if I can. Yeah, let me just see if I can. Yeah, I can just do share entire screen here. I'll give you a quick preview of my new project here. We are seeing all of these different dislikes on every single video from the White House. And I went through for hours in order to keep the record of this before they were gone forever, just as proof to know why this happened and why this is happening. And this is going to be a long video. It's going to be in depth. It's going to kind of just make the point of exactly what's going on right now. And that's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm putting so much time into it. Maybe no one will even watch it or see it, but at least I have seen it all. And that's pretty cool to me that I know what's really going on right now. And, you know, I can tell people, but I feel like really seeing it for yourself is what makes the difference. I really think that's what, you know, people really need to take the time and see what it really is happening, the depth of it all. Because if you just take someone's word for it, you're not getting the depth of it until you actually see it and put your time into it. And then you also, I want to point this out. Same website. This is from March. YouTube from, March 30th this year. YouTube is experimenting with hiding dislikes to protect creators' well-being. They were experimenting with this 8 months ago. 7 months ago. You all right? YouTube has announced it's experimenting with hiding dislikes to discourage dislike mobs from deliberately downvoting videos from creators and channels. The experiment, that word's very familiar nowadays, is a different implementation than the solutions the company had previously discussed, but is similar to other attempts platforms like Instagram have taken to nip targeted attacks in the bud. Man. What are these targeted attacks? Well, I just showed you what they are. Well, in their opinion, targeted attacks. I like these Tom McDonald lyrics. He says, hate speech isn't just speech that you hate. Just because you disagree with someone or you don't agree with their opinion, you don't have the same views, that doesn't give you the right to tell them to be quiet or silence them at all. I think my dog's got a hairball. She was chewing on a toy earlier. You all right? Get some water. Get some water. You're live right now. Anyways. Really, that's what it boils down to, is these people don't want you to be saying what you want to say. And anything is misinformation that isn't the information that they want, even if it's true or false. And that's just the way it is. And that's why YouTube's doing this. This is why YouTube is hiding dislikes from channels, not from people like me. Give a shit less about me. They shadow ban me all the time. They fuck with my algorithms. You know, you're always fucking with my algorithm, dude. Come on, man. But now you're saying that you want to hide these dislikes for my benefit? Fuck off. I want those dislikes on there. Maybe that means I'm actually, if they're not bots, sometimes dislikes are good. It means I'm actually getting some response from people. And I don't want everyone to agree with me. I don't want to just alienate everyone either. But at the same time, it's good to have a balance between, critical, constructive, and appreciative. Yeah. So that's what I think about that. And this new video coming out, I'm going to show every single video from the White House's YouTube page up until the time that YouTube decided to put this on, before these will be removed forever. And people will see. And the ratio, I went through almost 500 videos, probably over 500 videos. The ratio of negative ratios to positive ratios, it's a blowout. It's astounding. It's not even close. It's a miracle that the few videos that did get likes actually got likes, and I'm going to look more into those as well. So I'm going to get back into that. I want to thank you all for watching tonight. I had a great time with Lowry. We'll dive into that one video again soon. Hope you all have a great night, and maybe I'll try to jump in later again this week. So thanks for watching tonight. Keep your eyes open. Hoff signing off.